if this is triggering for you in your relationship with food, even if you had done a lot of work up to this point to have a pretty balanced and healthy relationship with food, and you are finding yourself emotionally eating and being triggered in ways that you haven't been in years, you're normal. This is happening to a lot of people right now.
Welcome to the Badass Manifester podcast, keeping you inspired with high vibe content, bringing you the best manifestation and mindset tools, teachings, interviews, and answering questions to help empower you to get out of your own way and take massive action to make magic your everyday normal. I'm your host, Ashley Gordon, spiritual life and manifestation coach, helping women and spiritual entrepreneurs manifest more impact, influence, and income. It is my purpose and pleasure to help you wake up to the badass creator that you are. Let's do this. Hey everyone, welcome to day 4 of Shaken to Awaken. We are streaming live on a Saturday, a beautiful Saturday. And today for Shaken to Awaken, we're going to be talking all about healing your relationship with food in times of anxiety and uncertainty with the incredible Marie Young. So before we dive into today and before I fully introduce Marie, I want you guys to hop on and just share where you're tuning in from, how you're feeling today, how you're feeling about life in general right now and everything that, is going on. And just wanted to recap and touch on the last few days with you guys. So day 1, I shared all about, how to be in awareness around when you're coming from love versus fear and how to really take your power back and amplify your power and choose how you want to show up every single second and being in that like hyper awareness. So if you missed that, definitely go back and watch it. And then day 2, we had Alyssa Campione. She is a mindfulness and holistic coach, and she shared all about how to use the power of your breath to respond instead of react to anything, which is so awesome. I fell asleep listening to that one. It was so good. And during her meditation. And then yesterday we had the incredible Shaima on. She talked all about rubbing on self-love sanitizer. So if you're brand new to, being live with us for Shaken to Awaken and you're catching us for the first time, so glad you're here. If you've been with us for, the duration, so glad you're back. Today's going to be so amazing with Marie. Marie has been a client of mine for a few years, and she's just building an incredible business. And she really, truly helps women with food freedom. She's a food freedom life coach. How cool is that? And she helps mamas and recovering people pleasers. And her mission is to really help women free themselves from food obsession and rock a body they love so they can fulfill their soul's purpose, and helping women clear all that space out of the way so they can get in their mission, which has been very much her journey. She's from Canada, BC, Canada, and I can't wait for you guys to meet her today and for her to share her light with you. So without further ado, hey, Marie.
Hi Ashley. Hi everyone.
So glad you're here.
Love it. So happy.
Yeah. So can you share a little bit about your journey as my phone rings?
Sorry, a little bit about my journey.
Yeah, a little bit about your journey and how you got to where you are. Because, you're a mom of 2, you're busy, you run a business. Like, how do you do all the things?
Yeah, I wasn't always calm and centered and free in the food department. I was actually always obsessed with food and nutrition. It was a good thing when I was a child, but then it turned into eating disorders, and I was always a people pleaser and a perfectionist, and that really turned into a neurosis over my body image. I was never thin enough. I was always counting calories and just obsessing over what I would eat and researching diets. And it really just all sort of came to a head about 8 or 9 years ago, and I had this moment where I realized that basically I wasn't living. I was all in
Mm.
my head over food, and I was forgetting to enjoy life. And really, that focus on food and calories was just taking so much brain power and so much of my energy that I wasn't I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do in the world. So that was the beginning of an awakening and just a rewiring of my relationship with food. And now I'm at the point where, yeah, I love food and I love to cook and I love to bake, and that's my thing. But at the same time, it's not in a neurotic sort of way. I have a very sort of very open and free relationship with food where, I love a good treat, but I don't beat myself up afterwards, and I can enjoy things and just move on after that. So in other ways, I'm pretty healthy.
That's amazing. Yeah, your food that you post looks so good.
I have fun doing it. I have fun with it, right? Food is now a source of pleasure rather than pain.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. I feel like now, right now, with everything that's going on, I just tried to go to the grocery store and it was just mayhem, like literal mayhem. I know, like in our mastermind group, Caitlin posted and she was like, people are going crazy in the grocery store. And like, it's true. People are, I think, hoarding food and, trying to prepare for the worst. And I feel like this is such an important conversation because, you know, it's obviously food sustains us, but also I feel like how to navigate that right now could be really, really challenging for people. So I'm really excited for you to share on that today.
Yeah, that's actually the first point I was going to make, is that if this is triggering for you in your relationship with food, even if you had done a lot of work up to this point to have a pretty balanced and healthy relationship with food, and you are finding yourself emotionally eating and being triggered in ways that you haven't been in years, you're normal. This is happening to a lot of people right now. So that's the first thing I wanted to say, is you're okay. That's okay. So you might find yourself, having more food on hand because you're stocking your pantry, and that is making you want to eat hashtag all the things. Or maybe that lack of control that over what's going on in the world is making you want to exert more control over your food. And so maybe you are finding yourself more restrictive over what you're eating. Maybe you don't have your usual routines and your usual go-tos from the grocery store because things are being depleted, and therefore you're not that lack of routine is throwing you off, and then you find yourself binge eating. And maybe you're just plain numbing because anxiety, and a lot of us just want to numb with food, and so you find yourself overeating. So all these things are okay and they're normal, but at the same time, I'm going to tell you that this is a perfect opportunity to change it.
Yeah, no, that's such a good point. And the numbing thing, I feel like it could go either way. Like I feel like I've been eating so healthy the last 4 days or the
Mm-hmm.
last 5 days. I don't even know what day it is, but like since quarantine. And yet I thought about it. I was like, this really could have gone the other way. Like I could have been eating like shit, ordering out, like
Yeah.
whatever, pizza subs, like all the things. None of it's wrong. But I was just thinking about how, you know, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
all about your mindset.
Yeah. And you're kind of a unicorn, I think, in the food department, where you have this very
I'm a
healthy,
unicorn.
yeah,
I love it.
yeah. You have this healthy relationship with food, but at the same time, you tend to eat for just like fuel and nourishment, and you don't seem to have that much of an emotional story and
You're
attachment
so right.
around food, which I think most people do.
You're right. Yeah, like I think I told you this before. Like I eat to live
Mm-hmm.
and I don't live to eat.
Yeah, and
Like
that I
I'm
don't think
not a
that's the norm.
foodie. I don't have like I get cravings sometimes, but I'm just not like that into food that much. I don't know why. It's weird.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of food, but I'm not like, ooh, like I don't know.
So you guys on Facebook, like if
Yeah.
you think Ashley is a unicorn and you think that you fall more into the camp who, have a lot of stuff and stories around food, let us know because I'm pretty
Yeah, I'm
sure.
curious.
Yeah.
My Aunt Barbara's on here.
Yeah.
She makes sure that I have food. She like dropped off groceries. She's like, you need to eat these. I'm like, okay. It's because of her that
Awesome.
I'm eating healthy.
Anyway, but yeah, because all this stuff is coming on, I think this is a perfect opportunity to rewire and change our mindset around food. Because yeah, this time that we're in right now might be a little extreme, and there might be, that much more anxiety and more uncertainty. But that being said, if you're waiting for things to be smooth sailing, for you to start working on your relationship with food, finding balance, getting healthy, it'll never happen. Never. Like there's always going to be something, and it might not be as dramatic as what we're going through right now, but there's always going to be something. That's what I call the, I'll start Monday syndrome. It's waiting for Monday, waiting for after the weekend, waiting for things to be perfect in order to start having a healthy relationship with food. And so I would say if right now you're being triggered, great. This is a great opportunity to work on it. And I'll tell you a little bit more about how you can actually do that, but seeing it as an opportunity rather than a roadblock to, that you're going to wait for it to be cleared, is a good way to start looking at this.
Can we just talk about that opportunity for a second? Because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
people might hear that and be like, okay, it's an opportunity. Is your son in the room? It's okay. He can come in.
No, I don't know. My door's open.
And so I don't like how did you shift your mindset to realize that like when you're triggered by food, it's actually an opportunity? Because I feel like that's a really profound thought. But because this is like what you do with women and how you work with women, it's I feel like most people won't like they might think like, how is this an opportunity? How did you get to that place?
Yeah. So I used to be very all or nothing, very extreme black and white thinking. So I was either on a diet or I was not on a diet, and I was either eating perfectly or I was binge eating. And that was my thinking until I got to the point where I realized, wait a minute, like that perfect Monday is never coming. So I really have to start today and now, um, having this relationship with food that is balanced enough that I can do it forever, that I can do it when things are hard and I can do it when things are easy, that I can do it when, um, I'm having exciting opportunities in my life or when I am bored out of my mind. Like, so I had to just reframe my mindset to start today. And when I started doing that, I realized, okay, I can't be black and white anymore. I can't be perfect because I can't sustain perfect forever. And I found that when times got tough, that was an opportunity in the sense that if you master your skill, your relationship with food when things are tough, then they're that much easier when things are easy. And it shows you that you can sustain this forever.
Yeah. So that I totally see how that is an opportunity because it's like when you can master it when things are tough, then you can sustain it forever. It's freaking
Exactly. Because
powerful.
if you're waiting for things to be perfect, then they'll just never be. You'll just always be waiting for Monday.
Yes. How many of us can relate to that? Like, I just can't wait for Monday. I'm just going to totally cleanse. I'm going to
Uh-huh.
just start over. It's a fresh start. But really, the fresh start is right now.
Yeah, it is right now. And I'm not
Right
telling
now.
you that you
Right
have to
now.
be perfect right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
but you have to realize that, someday, bless you, someday is just not coming. So let's build that healthy relationship with food today.
So good. So good.
Yeah. So, um, that's, that's the question, right? It's how can we make progress towards our goals while still realizing and recognizing that we are in tough times, and while still having compassion and grace with ourselves, right? Because again, I'm not telling you like start the juice cleanse today. Like that's not it. No, we still need to be gentle towards ourselves, but at the same time, we still got to be moving forward.
Do you feel like when people are in the supermarket right now and they're just grabbing shit, right? And they're
Yeah.
just like grabbing whatever they can get their hands on. Do you feel so? I believe in energy. I know you do too, obviously, but
Mm-hmm.
like, like when we're coming from that place of like need or lack or scarcity or survival, like that we're kind of like ingesting that as well
Mm-hmm.
when we eat the food. Do you take it
Oh,
that far?
oh goodness, yes, absolutely. Actually, that's one of my yeah, that scarcity mindset is one of the
Yeah.
things that I'll be talking about in the masterclass that I'm having, because scarcity causes us to um it got that like time scarcity causes us to eat too fast and not wait for our body's signals, right? So on the physiological standpoint, not even like energetic, it has an effect. And that like the money scarcity is it causes us to eat like crap, and therefore like buy cheap stuff, and our body
Right.
doesn't even recognize it as food, right? And then beyond that, absolutely that lack of connection to where the food comes from. And like I believe that my food tastes better when I am in a great mood and when I'm putting love into it. I really do. I feel like you can taste the difference, and your body responds differently to food that has been prepared with, that sense of like fear and scarcity or not.
Yeah, that's a
Absolutely.
good point. This morning we woke up whenever we wanted and we made breakfast and I made asparagus and mushroom omelet.
Mm-hmm.
And I never made that before with like the asparagus because I chopped them up small, put them in the pan, and all the things. And I really took my time with it and then we enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is so nice. Like I feel like
Yeah.
I'm just always rushing when I eat usually.
Yeah. And you know what? So this is actually one of the points that I wanted to bring up, which is there's a few things we can do to move forward with our goals while still giving ourselves grace. And the first one is,
Write these
I
down, guys. Write these
yeah,
down.
I always talk about on the plate stuff and off the plate stuff. And on the plate, so when it has to do with actual food rather than mindset, is reconnecting with our food. And right now, what a perfect opportunity to slow down, make stuff from scratch, explore what we have in our pantry because we might not have the usual, dig out your old cookbooks and be like, okay, this is what I got, what can I make with this? And really reconnect to, yeah, making stuff from scratch and having fun with it, and failing miserably sometimes and having a good laugh. But every time we fail in the kitchen, we also learn something, right? And that intention behind being intentional when we are preparing food, when we're cooking it, when we're researching what we're going to make, really makes us appreciate it more and slow down. And it creates this healthier relationship with food because we have a deeper connection with it. So that's one of the things I would say. Um, have a look at your pantry, do an inventory, dig out your cookbooks, see what you can make. Can you make bread from scratch today? Can you make a pot of healthy soup or stew? Like, is there something very homey that you can make that will deepen that connection with food?
That's so good. I love that. I literally said to Todd, I was like, let's rip apart our pantry and see what we have in there.
Right,
Leslie said, I
perfect.
love cooking. I show my love with cooking. I'm really good at it. Leslie, I'm
Mm-hmm.
coming over.
Yeah. um and then the other thing I would say is that it's a good time to lower your standards. So whoever's ever worked with me, they know that I get people to set their own standards. We don't want to look at what the internet has to say. We want to look inwards, and what are the standards that I want to live by? What are the standards that I want to eat by? Well, whatever standards you have, you can lower them. It's okay. So for example, if you're the kind of person who will dive into a very delicious treat that is worth it once a week, maybe right now in times of anxiety, you want to allow yourself to dive into a homemade treat every single night. But make it intentional. Have one piece of it and have it slowly and enjoy it and make sure it's something that's really worth it to you. But you can do it. Just choose what you want to do, lower your standards, but keep standards, right? It's not a free for all of a sudden, because that's going to make you feel like crap. And you don't want to feel like crap, not now, not ever, not when things are easy, not when things are hard. So enjoying food is one thing, but binge eating is not enjoyment. So set your standards, enjoy your treats. It's all right. You can lower your standards, just keep some.
So good. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. And another tip on the plate would be, now is actually a really good time to play food detective and keep a food journal. So a food journal is not just like how many calories you're eating and what your portion size is it's more about like the mood around eating and how you feel, your physical symptoms, right? So were you eating rushed? Were you eating triggered by a bad conversation? Were you stressed? Were you feeling sad? Were you feeling happy? And then how did you feel afterwards? Did you feel bloated? Did your skin, break out the day after? Did you get headaches? Like all those things are really good to document. And right now is a really good time to do that. We usually have a little bit more time on our hand. We're at home. We can have our journal nearby or a phone or wherever you choose to write down your notes. But it's a time to look inwards, and food journaling, I would say like food and mood journaling is a good thing to do right now.
I forget that I'm muted. Food and mood. Food and
Yeah.
mood. That is so good.
Yeah.
So good. Awesome. You got more?
Yeah. Oh yeah, well,
Oh
sorry.
wow. No, good.
But yeah, out of that food journaling, what we want to do is compile a list of foods that you love, that love you back. So what are the foods that bring you joy and at the same time that are good for you, make you feel healthy? And then once you have that list, just eat them as much as you can, as often as you can, put them in your regular rotation. So that's the goal really of food journaling, is to come up with those foods that you love and love you back.
Leslie said she loves this new definition of food journaling.
Good.
I want to know what tip so far you guys like the most.
Yeah, let us know for sure.
Do you have something else there?
Well, depends what you
There's
got for me, but
there is a
yeah.
question. Danielle said, yeah, my Aunt Barb said food and mood journaling. So good. Marie, do you have any food journal prompts or questions we can ask ourselves? If so, where can we find them?
Okay. I have.
Are they on your Instagram?
Oh yeah, I actually recently posted a thing about, was it five things to include in your food journal that have nothing to do with food, and that's basically right off of my food journal template that I have. So yeah, I could maybe post that in the comments.
Okay, cool. And it's funny because my Aunt Barb, I asked my Aunt Barb to get me cookie dough because I really wanted to like bake cookies. And she said no, because because of the sugar. And then you posted something about sugar today and how like sugar regulation is food freedom.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and food affects our mood, so we can't discount the on the plate stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would say, yeah, there's some off the plate stuff that I wanted to, just touch on, which is like.
And let me just interrupt you.
Yeah.
This is the beauty of what Marie does, guys. Just so you know, like being a food freedom life coach is on the plate and off the plate. So I just want to like reiterate it and make that point just so everyone knows like how powerful the work is that you do with your clients, because how much space does food alone take up for you in your life, but it affects everything in your life. So the on the plate, off the plate is like so brilliant.
Yeah, because it's about food, and at the same time, it's not about food, right? We use food as a jumping off point, and then we realize that it goes so far beyond. But food is not to be neglected. Food is the beginning of
Yeah.
our work. But and so I would say journaling right now. I'm all over it. Everybody's all over it. Like it's a good time to journal. And I'd say, like, what are the deepest fears right now that are coming up, right? Like,
Mm,
what is this situation triggering for you? Journal it out. Really put them out, put them on paper, get them out of you, and figure out whether it has to do with, with loss of control or with fear of safety. Like, to me, food has always been equated to safety very much. I'm always worried that if I run out of food, I'm just not going to be safe, right? But figure out what those deepest fears are, and there's a very powerful exercise that you can do, which is to do a mind map of all the things. So if you think that your deepest fears right now have to do with loss of control, I want you to mind map all the things that represent control,
mm,
or that you have control of right now, that have nothing to do with food. If your deepest fears are bringing up a concern for safety, mind map all the things that make you feel safe that have nothing to do with food, because you'll realize there's just so much you can control, so much that can make you feel safe, that has nothing to do with food.
wow. That's so, so good. I love that so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's just such a good awareness. And I'm all about connecting the dots. So I feel like it really connects the dots for people.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a really good
Thank
exercise to
you.
do. Yeah.
Well, you guys got your work cut out for you. Leslie said, for me, food is comfort and love. Sometimes eating is the only thing that gives me that dopamine hit.
Awesome. Then maybe what you want to do, Leslie, is a mind map of all the things that can represent love and comfort that have nothing to do with food, and really dig those answers out of yourself, because I bet there's a lot outside of food that represents comfort and love.
That's so good. Aunt Barb says, oh, yes, always have lots of food. I'm controlling. I will look at that. You're making people
Mhm.
think. Leslie said, great
Good.
exercise. Thank you. Hey, Natalie.
Mhm.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything else on your list? I love, like, you
No, no,
got
that's good. Yeah, no,
so
I
many
don't want to
nuggets.
overload people, but I'd say just a couple of, just to recap, like very simple exercises you can do a little bit of food journaling, and do a little bit of mind mapping around those biggest, fears that are coming up, right? Just two simple things that you can do.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And if you had any last nuggets for our Shaken to Awaken day 4, what would they be? What would it be?
Hmm. I would say, look inwards, not outwards,
Mm,
which means to me, the internet is always going to be a place for you to go to find out what you should be eating to boost your immune system, or to lose weight, or whatever your goals are. But I want to tell you that you have the answer within yourself, and it might not even be something that is out on the internet. It might not be a plan that exists. It might be a combination of a whole bunch of things. So tune in, shut off the internet for a second and think, like, what is it that would make me feel amazing and yet have this joyous connection with food, while still working towards my health goals? Because and if you don't know, then food journaling will help you, but look inwards.
awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you
Mhm.
for everything. And how can people connect with you if they want to book with you or just follow you on social media?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram. I'm at Bloom with Marie. You can, just DM me straight here, Marie Young on Facebook. I have a Facebook group called Food Freedom Mamas that you can join, and I'm actually hosting a free 3-day challenge on there next week. So if you join the group, you'll automatically be able to partake in that challenge. It will be all about bringing more joy and connection to your relationship with food. And then I have a free masterclass that's happening at the end of April that you can sign up for on my website, which is bloomwithmarie.com. And then after that, I'll be launching a food freedom boot camp, which is a 6-week group coaching program that I'm so excited about.
Food freedom boot camp.
I know, right? It's like the anti-boot camp. Okay, if you've ever done a boot camp, it's the opposite. But anyway,
Yeah.
So excited about it. Feel free to just reach out because I love to help if I can, and we can always chat on the phone, chat on Zoom or virtually. If I can help you have a little breakthrough, I will absolutely do that.
You're the best. You are the best. Thank you so much for sharing with us, for being with us, and your incredible exercises and tips that you left. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you catch the replay, definitely let us know. #replay. If you post or you do your homework and you want to share about it, we encourage you to do that. And just #ShakenToAwaken and make sure you tag Marie or Shaima or Alyssa or me, whoever you want to respond to. And we're here to support you. So thank you guys for tuning in. And tomorrow will be day 5. And on day 5, I have my list here. We have the amazing Caitlin. Caitlin is on here right now, I believe. She is an incredible sex therapist, relationship therapist, dating coach, and she's going to talk all about why now is actually a great time to be dating. So we're touching on literally everything: food, dating. On Monday, we'll have Goddess Soul Activation. On Tuesday, we'll have Embodying and Embracing Resilience like a stripper. It's going to be amazing. On Wednesday, we're going to have productivity coach Brittany. It's just incredible. So make sure you go follow Marie, show her some love, thank her for her amazing nuggets of wisdom today, and go sign up for her Food Freedom Boot Camp or the Food Freedom Free Challenge. It's going to be amazing. Whatever it is, it's going to be epic. So go sign up for it. Thanks.
Thanks, Ashley.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to the Badass Manifester podcast. I love manifesting Mondays with you, and there's so much more in store right here. The best way to manifest love is to give love. If you loved what you heard today, subscribe to the Badass Manifester podcast. Leave a review on iTunes. Let me know how much you dig the energy here. All of my social is linked up in the show notes, so screenshot this episode, tag me on Instagram, and let me be part of your real-time journey. For more info on me, feel free to go to my website, manifestwithash.com. Repeat after me. I am my own power source. I am the master of my energy, and I deserve everything that I desire. Go get them.